time for tea time.
Oh, yes. We're here.
So, child, according to math, not me. This is math. This ain't me. But according to math, if you were born in 1987 and it is the year 2001 and your birthday passed, you are 34, which means that we are both 34.
Yes.
That's according to math, not me.
Yes. And wait, we were born in 2021, right?
Yeah, what did I say, child?
You said 2001.
Okay. See, look. Who knows?
We was about 14.
I don't think that's how math works. I don't know.
About 14 in 2001.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're 34.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So that means that we made it past 33.
We did.
Hopefully we are not the same. Hopefully we grew. Hopefully we kept what we needed to keep for 33, and we let go of what we needed to let go of in 33, and we took on or picked up what we needed to pick up in 33 to become a new version. Version 34.
Version 34.
So we'll start with you.
3.0.
So what did 33 represent for you?
So 33 was very much a Jesus year. I know, we say that all the time as we get older and these numbers will match it up to make it something, but
we don't do that.
Well, I do that. Yeah. There we go. Chanel does that.
I just roll with it. I'd be like, all right, whatever.
And the year 33, I was just like, okay, this is my Jesus year to like really live and to really like live in my purpose and to be who God called me to be. Is really what the idea behind 33 was. And it was tight because, as we were coming into it, it was like, okay, it's about to be 2020. Like, this is lit. Like, 2020 vision. Like, I can see things clear. Like, it's about to be so lit.
And God was like, just effing with you.
Jesus was like, first of all, my father said to sit down. And we had to sit down. But I will say, I will say, like, despite, the pandemic happening and, it was awful with having to quarantine and, be in the house, I will say, I think I lived out in that purpose of what and who God called me to be. During that time, because we had time to sit in the house and you didn't have nothing to do but look at yourself in the mirror and reflect on all the things that you either are doing or are not doing. So it was a lot of time of reflection because we ain't had nothing else to do. And there were days where I really had to face myself and figure out, why I am the way I am or why I do certain things that I do and how to kind of get out of that. And to just be better. And, even with my purpose of, helping people and working in education, like I had to pivot and think outside of the box. Like, how do I reach kids and families virtually? Like, what does this look like? So it definitely made me grow. And I do feel like I was in alignment with, that Jesus year and what that meant for me, which is walking in my purpose. So, yeah.
Again, I'm going to start going first.
I mean, a lot of it wasn't pretty. I think, too, to add on to it, I feel like we did a lot of work, too, like leading up to that, like leading up to 33. Like, we started to really look and do some deep, ugly work, like the ugly cry work, and a lot of that stuff was happening. And I think in 34, like, now that work is starting to, like, now I'm starting to manifest. Yeah. So I think that is what 33 was about. It was definitely, I will say it was a good year for me. Like, I feel like I'm finally comfortable with Chanel, like who I am.
Absolutely. And there's nothing more beautiful than that.
Absolutely.
Right? The acceptance of yourself.
Look at God.
Listen. So when you brought that whole thing to me, like, oh, it's your magic year. I was like, what? You're like, magic, number 33.
No, 32.
Was that 32?
Yeah.
Okay,
magic year was 32.
32.
See, yo, she
and then you was like, see, that's because I don't do this. And then you was like, 33 is your Jesus year. I was like, am I going to die? I don't have time for that.
First of all,
there's some things I don't know if things work out on certain fronts. Like, I don't want that. I don't know.
What Jesus died at 33.
He did.
I don't want this.
So when it got to the 33 and a half mark, I was like, Lord, if you just keep me, I'm gonna be right.
I made it.
But I too, felt like, okay, like it did make me think like, okay, well, what does that mean? Right. So like what happened to Jesus in year 33, right? He suffered,
Yeah.
right? He died and he was resurrected. Look at God. So I was like, okay, I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to accept the concept of this being a Jesus year, you know. But you know, hey, sometimes, you know, he also said, please let this cup pass over me during that time. And it was like, nope, this your purpose. You're gonna do your purpose.
Exactly.
So I think that a lot of things happen, you know, like you said, when the pandemic hit, the stay at home, I feel so bad, but I was geeked. Like I was not geeked about the pandemic. I was not geeked about coronavirus, or I was not geeked about people dying. But I think I personally just needed a break. Like I was ripping and running. Like I was just out here, you know, just always gone, traveling a lot for work. So I think it was like for me, I kind of looked at it as a break. Um, so I do feel a little bit guilty about that, but that is absolutely how I felt. Like I was like, thank you.
No, I definitely felt that way too. Like it was definitely like, okay, I get to stop and sit down, like, and not even stop, but really not do anything, because it was really like shut down completely for a minute.
Shut down.
Yes, big shutdown.
Big shutdown.
I think we all need. I think the world honestly needed that.
Yeah, and I think I personally needed it. But going back to what you said about a lot of work that was leading up to the year, I think that we started that years ago, right? Like with some of the books that we were reading along with the podcast. We're going to the Women Evolve conference. I believe that was in
19.
That was in 19.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, 19.
Yeah, it was 2019. You're right. And so, and I think that that was a very pivotal moment.
Yeah.
And I think that we planted a lot of seeds there that we didn't really know how they were going to manifest, right? And I think a lot of things happened in 2020, right? Like, I know for sure I thought I was going to get laid off. And I was like, and then I was like, well, you know, if this is Chanel's Jesus year, but then it must gonna be all right. So I just was like, whatever. I think that in 2020, the biggest thing for me was like accepting things for what they are.
Yeah, surrendering. Like, I think that was your word. Yeah.
Like not what I want it to be, not what I want to make it. Like, but just literally look at it for what it is. Don't listen to what you're in your mind, what you want to shape it as or whatever, but like literally just look at the facts. Like here it is. Either you accept it or you don't. Either way, it's all right. You know? So I think for me, it was just, and I think that in doing that, it does allow you to accept yourself, right? Because you're like, that does work for me. Yes. That, on the other hand, does not work for me. No thanks. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that there was a lot of that, right? Of the picking up of new things and then like the putting down of some old things and just saying like, you know, like you said, getting more aligned with my purpose and realizing that, you know, there's some things that you can't do both of.
Yeah.
If they're if they are literally, if they contrast each other, it doesn't work. So being real deliberate about where you're going and, you know, just making more decisions that were aligned with my purpose and like just stepping out on faith and saying, you know what, none of this makes any sense. And that honestly has been hard for me because I'm a very logical person. Like I need things to add up. So there were some things that like that I decided to do that really just didn't even make sense in my head. But I was like, you said you was gonna surrender, and God said this cup will not pass over you. So here we are.
Here we are.
What you gonna do about it?
Like what kinds of things?
So like one example was, you know, just being all in with trying to go to law school, right? And say, I know that this don't make no sense because you know you have a pretty solid career history in this other field and there's no reason to leave, you know, but sometimes you don't need a reason to leave. Sometimes you need a reason to stay.
That part, that's the word,
you know. And actually I saw Bridget because, you know, shout out to Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget. JD.
Yes. Yeah, she just so happens to be a JD, right? I wasn't trying to call it JD. But no, she said, because, you know, she's an HR professional, and she was like, you know, a lot of times employers want to give people a reason they try not to give people reasons to leave, but sometimes you need, no, the opposite way, you know what I'm trying to say. And she was like, that goes for not only work, but that goes for everything in life, you know. And so I think for me, it's like, I don't have a reason to leave, everything's great, you know, blah blah blah. But then it's like, but there's something just pulling at me, you know what I mean, just telling me to do this. It makes no sense. It would be pay cuts, it would be back to school. Who wants to do any of that? I do not. And I think that it's taken me a while to honestly like accept it. It's like, so you want, so it's like, okay, let me take a couple steps, but then let me pause because it don't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
Then let me take a couple more steps and then I'm gonna pause because again, I can't rationalize this in my head. But then it's like, you know, just being like, you know what, either you in or you out.
You gotta make a decision, like,
because like Jesus, he said you can't be lukewarm.
Yes. Listen,
you're either in this thing or you're out.
out.
And then, you know, and then also when you say yes to purpose, that means you have to say no to anything that comes against it. You know, so anything that's gonna pull you away from it, then saying like, you know what, I gotta let this go because I said I was all in.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta do only things that are going to drive me closer to this, that are gonna feed me in the way that'll serve the future me.
Yeah. And that's very much so, like, you know, the path of Jesus as he was walking his walk.
By the way, I am so not comparing myself to Jesus.
Yes,
we are
let's
not
say that. Not at all.
And you were just like Jesus, and I'm like, oh my God, is that what I said?
No,
probably not what I meant.
Just giving you an analogy here, if those are your things. And I like analogies if we haven't figured that out. But he, you know, he had to look forward, even though things did not make sense. Like, you got to keep going because this is what I'm telling you to do, and this is what I already predestined for you to happen in your life. So I think that is a good analogy in that, you know, just keep looking towards your purpose and keep driving on that.
And don't take your eyes off of it.
Don't
allow anything. So any distractions, got to take a back seat.
Absolutely. So I think, you know, 33 was definitely an important year for both of us. And I think it has manifested a lot. And I think another thing that I wanted to do in 33, you know, I'm the professional single. I always talk about like being single, like, oh, I wish I had a boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, this year 33, I was really like, you know what? I'm not living.
You did.
I was like, I'm not like I'm living to get a mate, and that's fine. Like, I don't want to wait and wait for this person, whoever he may be, to like show up and fall through my door. Like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. So I was really like, dude, start living, like love on the people who love you right now and be full on that. Like, just make memories and have experiences. And, you know, when that person comes along, they'll come along, but you'll be so full that you're not even really paying attention to that.
Right. Because you good with them or without
them. And I think that has been driving me, like, you know, and I was never before the person where y'all be like, let's go here. And I was like, I don't know, my money looking funny. I don't know if I'm gonna go. Like, I was always that person.
Plenty money excuses.
Always. I was that person.
Though, since you got that new job, though, you be like, so how much you owe? Am I cash apping you or is you cash apping me? And I be like, okay, well, come on, big ballers.
I'm trying. Listen, shout out to, you know, the stimulus money that we got to put me in a good position to pay off all my debt. And, you know, shout out to my boss too, who mentors me and allows me to make good financial moves. But I've definitely been the person now where I'm just like, okay, where are we going? Like, how much it costs? Like, what do we need to do? Because I'm not even thinking about the money no more. Like, it's not even about the money. Now it's about the experience. Like, you're going to miss out on an experience because you're worrying about the money.
Yeah.
And if I don't know nothing now, I'm like, I'm gonna book it and I'm gonna figure it out as I go. And that's what I've been doing. And it's, you know, it's been working. And we've made some great experiences. And I think, I don't think, you know, I could ever repay myself on the experiences that we've made, like just taking these trips and enjoying ourselves and having a good time and not focusing so much on, wow, I'm 34 and I'm still single, because I think that's what it was coming to.
Yeah, I agree with all of those sentiments. I know, you know, my mom's dad died the year before, so my grandfather ended up passing away. And, you know, her birthday was coming up and everything. And I was just like, man, and I could just tell my mom has not been the same. And so I'm like, okay, I want my mama to live. Like, I want her to be excited. Like, she doesn't have the glow.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the light in her eyes is out. And so, you know, I wanted to do something special for her birthday. So we did that birthday trip for her, right? Colorado, Arizona, Vegas, went to the Grand Canyon. And I absolutely was on at the same in the same space. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, I want to do all the things that I want to do. I'm not about to wait for nobody to do them. I don't care if I'm single, married, whatever. Like, I want to live my life.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and not only that, but, you know, we got to look at the perks of being single.
Exactly.
I mean, there are tons of benefits here.
That's the silver
I
lining.
like, I ain't got to ask no damn body.
We get up and move freely.
I don't have the expenses of children and all these other things. Like, I can just
Dang.
can't win them all. Okay?
Hey, can't win them all, you know.
But, you know, I was just like,
yeah, must be nice.
Know, I mean, I literally only got to take care of me.
Oh, that's
so
tight.
I can do whatever I want to do, whenever. And then I was like, dude, you have the most flexible job ever in life. Like, I've never met anybody who has the flexibility that I do. So
Life
I'm like,
is good.
I'm about to maximize, capitalize, and optimize on all of my advantages. You know what I mean? Like, why not? So I'm like, hell, your girl's about to live it up. Y'all gonna be like, what? I mean, why don't she sit her ass down? Well, look, when I'm ready to do that, I will.
Listen.
But until then,
I don't have to. Listen.
I don't have to. So I'm gonna do everything that I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, if I want to do it.
Absolutely.
All of that.
And I think that always sticks out in my head too. You know, you having a conversation with your grandmother and she was telling you, like, you know, just tell people I love them, and, you know, things like that, like the experiences, and don't know that this really matter in life if, you know, if I had the money. Like, who cares about that?
Yeah.
Like, did I have a good time in Las Vegas for your mom's birthday? And it wasn't even about me. I had a wonderful time.
Because it feels good to celebrate people.
Absolutely.
You know?
Celebrating your mom and then experiencing things that we would have not have done that stuff.
Right.
Like,
and seeing things that I've never saw. And then too, realizing that I was kind of taking it for granted to a certain degree. Like, hey, it's in the US. I know you want to go everywhere else. Exactly. But how about there's some real beauty. Oh, and I'm going to send you something else that I want us to do. I sent it to Scarlett earlier, but we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
But it's just about acknowledging the beauty that's right in front of your face. You know? And so, yeah, I agree. I think after that, I was just like, your girl's about to do the damn thing.
Got to.
Because, like, you know, it's a choice and it's a decision, right? Mm-hmm. Of how you want to look at things and how you want to move. And I know for me, my decision is always about just, do I want to do it or not? Mm-hmm. Because if yes, then I will figure it out. Like, I know for sure that if I commit to it, if I put down that deposit, honey, if I book that flight, the girl's going.
Yeah.
I might not have a plan at the time, but I'm going to come up with one, because there are a million ways to skin. You know how they say there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat?
Absolutely.
I don't know why that's an idiomatic expression. Mm-hmm. It's very violent. I don't like cats. It don't sit well in my spirit. So, but there are many paths to get to the same solution. Absolutely. So I don't know how we're going to get there, but I know that there is a way that we can make this thing work. Sure. I mean, we didn't found the cheapest flights.
We've been making it work.
We've been making it work. If you get creative enough, you can make stuff happen. And I think that, you know, if you are open to other alternatives and other options, you can certainly get there. So I think that's what I've been on to, is like, dude, I ain't waiting for nobody. Like, I'm just doing it. I'm out here. I have a list of 25 places that I must go and I must see. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just
checking them off.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Next one. Next.
Absolutely.
That's it. So whoever's future husband is, he likes to travel. I know that much.
Got to. Listen.
Because if you think a marriage is going to keep me sitting down, probably won't.
No. Yes, definitely must travel. But it's nice to have those experiences before that comes into play, because now we have our own full lives as individuals. So then when we do get married,
you don't get lost.
You know? Yeah.
Your identity doesn't become like somebody's wife or somebody's mom. Or, I mean, not that those are bad identities, because they're great, absolutely great identities and great accomplishments, especially motherhood. Mm-hmm. You know, like, moms do everything. They're amazing.
They're no, I'm kidding. Millennial moms, all right, but millennial dads.
Yeah, millennial dads. I agree with that. Millennial dads maybe doing a little bit better than millennial moms.
Tier.
But who's competing?
Right.
Who's competing?
It's all one family.
But
top tier though.
No, but I mean, like, I just want to live my life and have fun and just like have those aha moments and take the time to, like you said, the loving on people that love me, because that's the other thing too. I saw this one meme and it was like something about like everybody that you like, you got to realize everybody that you love don't love you. And I was like, it's not reciprocal.
It's not reciprocal.
Eye-opening.
Man.
But making sure that your energy and focus is just on the right things and the things that really bring you joy and make you happy. Oh, and peace, honey.
Oh yeah, peace. Shout out to Keita.
Shout out to Keita and Miss Caldwell.
Pieces and shout out to Denisha too, who said like peace was like a currency.
Joy.
Yeah, joy is like a currency.
Yes.
Those hand in hand. Joy and peace.
Hand.
At this point in life, like I need that.
Yeah, and just realizing what's worth it and what ain't.
Yes, in abundance, me please. All the peace,
me please,
and joy I can stand. Because it's so priceless to have that, and it means so much more than money could ever buy you.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And then too, I think that this year or year 33, I was learning to listen to my body. Because somebody told me this years ago, like, listen to your body, like it knows, like, if something is right or not, like, we shut it down and we ignore it and we push against it because we always want to push past and push through, but like sometimes we need to stop and listen. And realizing that, like, if you really quiet yourself, you really know what you need to do. Like you really, like, you have all the answers. You know what it is, you know what it ain't.
Yeah, I definitely think this pandemic and, having to stay at home orders definitely assisted in that, because again, you didn't have anything to do but to stay in the house. So for me, and as a 33-year-old, like I was definitely like in tune with my body. Now, at the beginning of the pandemic, it was very much so like, okay, like let's get moving, let's do this, like let's do that. This ain't gonna last that long, like, just keep on going. But then when we were stuck in that stay-at-home order, then it was definitely like a range of emotions, and I had to feel all of them. There were days where I was just like, I can't even get out the bed, like feeling that depression and feeling the sadness and feeling like grief and just so many feelings. Like I had to listen to my body, and it wasn't nothing I could do but to listen to my body. So now when I feel those feelings, I can easily name it, because I'm like, oh, I've gone through this. Right. I know what this feels like. I know what this is.
To feel it.
I couldn't just push through because it wasn't nothing else to do.
But I will say this, I don't think everybody pushed through. I think there are distractions, right? I think that, a lot of people were drinking.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people were indulging.
But those are they were coping.
A lot of people were indulging in TV and food and everything. So I don't think, I do think that there are other alternatives, and you didn't, I think you had to be intentional.
Absolutely.
To sit and really feel, because there are certainly other coping mechanisms. But yeah, I did a lot of reflection. And then there were different things that happened where I was like, dude, you knew this. You did not listen to your own body. Like your intuition told you what this was, but you decided again. Yeah. This is where the whole take things for what they are, not what you want them to be, not the way you want to see them. Just look at the facts. Like, look at this objectively. Yeah. What does this look like?
It's black and white. It ain't no more gray.
No more gray.
It's not no middle. It is or it ain't.
Right. And then too, I think getting over fear. So I don't know if you ever saw this, but Will Smith did. I don't know who was interviewing him, but he was talking about bliss. And he was talking about how he was out with some people and they were drinking and they were like, oh, we're gonna, what's it called? Skydive when you jump out of the airplane? Okay. He was like, we're gonna, like, somebody was like, we're gonna go skydiving around. And they were like, yeah. And they all like high five, like, yeah. And then he was like, he went back to the hotel and he was like, oh shoot, is he really doing that? And he was like, nah, everybody was drunk. We ain't doing that. But then in the morning, like everybody met up where they said they was gonna meet up, and everybody, like he was like just the anxiety of when the next step was just like beyond him. And then he was like, when he got in the plane, you know, like just he was walking through like the steps of all the anxiety. And then he said, you know, when you're ready to jump, you stand at the right at the edge of the plane and you're holding on to the sides, and they go 1, and he said 2, and he said, and they push you on 2 because people hold on 3. So they don't even let you get there. They be like 2, and they just push. And he said when he was out there, like they showed a clip of him actually doing it. You know, you got another guy on your back, but he was like, there's bliss. And he was like, why did I stay up all night? Why couldn't I enjoy breakfast? Why was I doing all of this when on the other side of this fear was just bliss? And so I think for me too, so I like to plan. I want to know what the possible outcomes are based on my decisions, right? Like, okay, if this happens, the possible impact could be this, that, and the third. Am I willing to accept that? Am I willing to deal with it? If so, then yes. If not, then no. But I think just going back to the listening to your body, also stepping out on faith, like real faith, and just being like, hey, this is scary. It is unknown. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It could be bad. Yeah. But I'm jumping. Hey, you know, because now I got to. I'm out here. Yeah. So what I do know is that I don't want what's right here where I am. So I'm jumping, right? Because even if I land wrong, at least I moved. Yeah. And sometimes just moving is better than staying stagnant and staying still, because the more that you stand still and stagnant in something that may not be for you, you start to get more comfortable in it. Yeah. Yeah. And then you just accept it. You know, that is very true. And anxiety is like a weird emotion. Like, what is this? Like, just leave me alone. So somebody said, like, depression is like dwelling on the past, and anxiety is fear of the future. Right. So the trick is to stay in the present. That is very true. Because anxiety is a trip. I get anxious a lot too, where it's just like, really? Like, relax. Like, girl, you don't have to be anxious. I be anxious every day. And then I be like, it's okay. Yes. Like, yes. That could happen, but it also could not happen. It probably won't. It probably won't. Mind your damn business. Yeah, I was anxious like all today because it's like, oh, you got to go to work. You got to have a staff meeting. Like, then you got to hurry up, try to get to the podcast like on time. So I was all day. I was just like, oh my God, like I have to do all of these things. Like, is it going to all work out? Like, don't play out. But it's just like, but it always does. It always does. Like, you're here. I'm safe. I made it here safely. Because people be driving crazy, but that's another story. Child. So it's just like, you did all that being anxious and everything worked out, bro. Like, relax. Yeah. I too was kind of anxious today. And then what I tried to do, so I tried to catch myself when I'm anxious, or when I'm like, even like the depression, like thinking things in the negative. Like I try to just, it doesn't always work, but I try to be conscious of it. So I can tell myself like, bro, you are really tripping right now. Yeah, just relax. Like, get on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Listen to a song. Like, something. Drink some water. Mind your business. Mind your business. Like, come on. Yes, definitely. Like, staying in the present. Is this going to impact you right now? Like, okay, that you're thinking on something that could possibly go wrong, but there's a million things that could go right. Absolutely. I love that. And it's so funny that we're having this episode, because as I was in the car driving here, I was thinking like, you know, when we were kids, like looking at our parents, like thinking like 33, 34 was old. Like, at least I did. And now, girl, heck yeah. Yeah. I'm like, in your 30s? Right. And now that we're here, I'm like, that's pretty young. Like, it's not really it's that perspective old. Because, you know, when you're young, it is old, you know, but now that we're old, we don't want to be called old, so we make it okay, you know. Right, we just make it acceptable. You know, when you do stuff, you be like, it's all right, but other people can't do it. No, you can't say I'm old. But no, I do feel like my perception of my mom, like of parents in general, was that they had it together. Yeah, yeah, because when your mom was 33, she had you and Brian at that point. Yes, yes. And she was married too, so that's a lot. Well, she was probably divorced by then. Okay. But that's still a lot at 33. Yeah, I think she had me when she was 26. Okay. I'm like, yeah, I could. And I was trying to think too, back to my mom. So my mom at 33, 34, my sister was like 14, I was 7. Like, that's a lot. And you're a single parent living in a city that you don't know nothing about. Like, what? Like, how, Sway? How was y'all living these lives? Because I can't even imagine at 34. Like, no. Like, I still call my mom for stupid stuff all the time. Girl, yes. I don't call anybody mama. I be like, so, Scarlett, your mama say about this? Did you tell her? Like what?
A mess. Like,
and then I'll be like, yeah, I was feeling this way, and then Mama Penny sent me this message
all the time. It's so funny. My dog like kept running away from me the other day. I literally went in the house and got my mom and was like, can you please get him? Like, I don't know what to do.
Girl,
like, you're the mom. Like, you do it. And she was probably like, bro, this is your dog that you bought.
My mom be like, how old are you now? And I'd be like, who cares? That's irrelevant. I'm not nobody mama.
Listen,
like,
first of all, you're the mom. You're the real mom. Yes, that's what I always say. You're the real mom. Like, I'm a mom.
Even if I was a mom, I'd be like a millennial mom. Who wants those?
Exactly.
Like, I want the mom for the 99.
Like a fake mama.
Right.
I
don't want that.
Asking my mom
mom.
everything.
We all know dads is really killing it, and you want me to be a millennial mom? No, I want the old school, old fashioned, real mama, not fake mom.
And these are just jokes, y'all. Y'all mamas, y'all type, but man, but a mama, like you gotta have a OG
the mom
mama.
who's seen the span of you know who knows it and just gets it, because it's so funny. Because the other thing that I realized at 33 is a lot of things that older people told me that I didn't understand. Like, it makes sense. Like,
absolutely,
literally, like, older people will look at a situation and be like, this ain't right, or this ain't this ain't that. You need to do this, and you're like, that don't make no sense. Blah blah blah.
But clear
and
then
now you be like, yeah,
clear as day. Makes complete sense.
Yep, should have been listening.
I'm definitely at that point in my life where I'm just like, she was right all along.
So honestly, now I really like revere older women.
Yeah.
Like, when Sora Priscilla say something, I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Let me just go ahead and do that. She ain't even like, she's just older than me. But still. Right, exactly. Like, I just try to have conversations with my grandmother and just record it, like just pick up on the things that they tell you, even just in normal conversation. Same thing with my aunt who's older. You know, like just soak in the wisdom. Miss Thelma, when she says stuff, I just be like, okay.
Just listen, take it in.
Right. And even people that are not necessarily like older, but they just older than us, like you know, like some of the our amazing friends that are in their 40s. I'd be like,
yeah, definitely taking it all in.
Just listen, right?
Yeah, because I do think this 33, 34 age is like the soaking in. Like, now I can soak it in, because I also have experiences where I'm just like, that does make sense. Yeah, exactly. Whereas in our 20s, it was just like, like, I don't know. I think I know everything, but I don't know, because I haven't really experienced anything.
Yeah. I think 20-year-olds, you know, like we think that we're grown, so we want to be grown, so we want to like do grown stuff, but then we don't want the grown consequences.
Absolutely,
that's the thing. It's those consequences. It's the accountability piece. So, but I think in my 30s, I'm like, so what did such and such say?
Listen,
we're gonna do that.
Pour into me. Yeah. I am a cup.
I don't know. Just like, so John Ray made this post where it was right when the pandemic hit, and she was like, I saw this older lady put a bunch of aluminum foil in her car, so I did it too. She was like, I don't know what we need all this aluminum foil for, but she's an elder. I trust her, so she's right. So I just feel right, exactly. On GP, she must be right.
I wonder what she did with all this.
Girl, I don't know. Who knows, child?
For days. Okay, like, we gonna be good.
She probably needed to get the acrylic off of her nails or something.
Hey, that was good, because at the height of the pandemic, I mean, Raggedy. If Raggedy was a person, it would have been me. Like,
oh my god,
I was so raggedy. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I went to the nail salon the other day, and they were like, "Are you the one who usually looks like this?" Like, they was like, usually your hair, so, you know, because I look totally different right now. They was like, usually you have on like a dress, and like your hair is usually like kind of loose curl. I said, yes, that's me. It is okay. Look,
I'm multifaceted.
I know I've been wearing leggings now forever, but look, I know I'm usually cuter. I'm usually, you know, a little bit more fashionable. Hey. But y'all just gonna do these feet and do these hands and leave me on my way.
Mind your business.
Right.
But I mean, different hair requires different you. Like, you're not gonna get to body wave me with my braids and my twists. Right. No, you're getting twist me. Okay.
Right. Or in between twists. My hair ain't done. My hair's not done. It's
so cute. But shout out to you for growth. Look at all these colors in your hair.
Like, girl, and what is up with that?
34-year-old Sherry. 20-year-old Sherry would have never.
I mean,
never, ever done something like that.
I swear I was not only black, but I was like jet black.
Jet black, absolutely jet
like
black.
1B,
not 1B, no.
no.
1B was too light.
That was too light. Don't you 1B me. I want bliggity black hair.
Man, now look at you. Got the number 33. What's that, 33? 27?
Girl, I got 27. I think I do have number 2. I think it's 2, 27. And girl, is that F40 or something like that?
That's the brightest blonde.
The blonde. The bleach blonde.
Yes.
Just wilding out.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
New year, new you. I love it. I love the growth, and I love the acceptance of this is I'm trying stuff and it's me. Like I'm still me.
I'm just gonna try it, and then if it don't work, then that's cool too.
Exactly. I tried it. I love it. That's what this new year is all about. Like transitioning from 33 to 34. I think that is what it is. Like to be unapologetically who you are, and and it's okay because I'm gonna be me in whatever it is. I'm still at the core. I am who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's tight. And I love that right now. I think that, it's freedom in that I'm so comfortable being who I am. Like I feel comfortable, telling people no or telling people whatever's on my mind. And I'm okay with it. Like I used to be a little timid, but now I'm definitely finding my voice. Like I don't want to do this, or I don't like that, or this is what I think. And this is my opinion. And I think that came with the work that I've been doing over the years that's led me to where I am today at 34. So it's crazy, like mid-30s, like what?
Oh, no, don't say mid. See, now you're classifying.
I'm just saying. I'm like, ooh.
You got to check boxes. Mid-30s, that's the thing?
Gee, I mean, we like at the cusp, but the age range would be like 18 to 30.
The only cusp that I am is an Aquarius Pisces, okay? I don't know what kind of cusp you're talking about.
Just saying, on the little
thing. And you keep saying we,
Hey, we are in this together. It'd be like the 18 to 34 and then like the 35 to like whatever.
Oh no!
Me on the cutoff.
I'm gonna make a request that they update that to just be like to 40.
It gotta be. It should be to 40.
I think
40 is
it's a good
20.
round, solid number.
No, 40 is like the new 30. Like 40-year-olds be tight. So
yeah. I think by 40 we just ain't gonna give no F's.
Yeah. And it's so funny because the people that I know that turn 40, like that is totally their mindset. Like they are so unapologetically who they are, and they do not give AF at all.
At all. Like,
and it's so tight.
Not even a lowercase one. They
not like at all. Uppercase AF. Like, man. Shout out to all the 40 and fabulous and fly women. Like it's definitely like the new 30. Like, and it's again, when we were kids, like 40, I was definitely like 40 is old.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
you couldn't tell me.
Yeah, you 40? Like
right.
Dang.
Yeah. I remember when I was when I was younger, I would never date a guy in his 30s because that was old.
Hilarious.
Right? But then like I kept getting older and I didn't realize it. And I remember I was talking to Scarlett and the dude was like 33 or something. And I was like, oh no, I can't talk to him. Oh my God. And I was 29 but didn't realize it. And she was like, girl, if you don't talk to a guy in your 30s, you're gonna be a pedophile.
Right.
So you need to get over it.
You said you getting older and he's getting younger.
Exactly.
Now what are you doing?
So you're gonna need to accept that you're not dating guys in their 30s. And now look at us.
Now look at us, because right now I'm
according to you, we're mid-30s.
Girl, because I'm definitely like 40. Like, where is he at? Like the 40-year-old. So. Girl. Which is crazy, because again, I used to think 40 was like super old.
Yeah, absolutely. And 40 absolutely.
Was old. Like, you're old. Like grandparent in my head, like that's what it is. But now I'm like 40 is like young. Yeah. Like super young. Like when people be like, or people our age who be like, my mom's like 52, I'd be like, dang, your mom young. That's what I've been thinking too. Like, young. Right. Like what? Whoa. Your mama is a baby.
Does she need a mentor?
Right. So your grandma gotta be like.
So your grandma's only like 70.
On the real, that's it. Like, geez.
Yeah, because when I was born, my grandmother was 60.
See, that's grandma age.
Yeah, exactly. That was like real grandma, right?
That's grandma.
There was a 60-year age difference.
There we go.
Between me and my grandma.
Not 50 years.
Right.
Like, what? This is so weird. But yeah, aging gracefully. And I think that's hopefully that's an important part that you all can take away.
I can't lie, the numbers still scare me. Like I'd be like 34.
No, right?
Oh my.
It's just so shocking
does
because
that mean?
again, like when we were young, I couldn't foresee 34. Like I could foresee it, but I thought it was old. Like I just thought like 34-year-olds weren't these cool people living their best lives, like having a good time. Like I thought they was old people. Like you just stay in the house and you're old and that's it. But now I see, 30s, we are living our best lives and it has been very fun.
Yeah, and I think that that's what I'm doing in this year. Okay. So I think that that's what I'm doing in this year is just doing what makes me happy, doing what makes me feel good, doing what's fun, and trying new things. Like when we did what did we do?
What did we do? Where?
In Cancun.
Oh, we did the zip line. Yeah.
Like
we
before
did the
I would have
ATV.
been like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
now I would have ATV.